Hey there. Well, this is my second scope. I'm going to give everybody a second. I kind of advertised this late. But I think people are catching replays too, so that's fine. Be nice to talk to some people about some of the stuff, see what they think, see what their questions are. I've been teaching reading to struggling readers for about 10 years now. And this is something I've come up with over the years about using picture books to teach comprehension skills. And I've narrowed those skills down to 8 skills, 8 strategies, and this one is on visualizing. This is one of my favorites. I found this book by accident, and I was going to show everyone exactly what the book is and how you can use it to teach visualizing to pretty much any age student. I have used it to teach grades K through 5. I am an RTI Title I teacher in a small district, and I've used this book for 3 years now, and it's been one that ties in so closely to visualization that the kids don't even really have to think about it anymore. It's amazing to me how many kids don't know what visualizing is, and I think that's the true reason why they are struggling readers. So I'm going to go ahead and flip it, tell you a little bit about what I'm going to do tonight, and then show you the materials that I have. So you can go ahead and find these materials yourself, try them out, and let me know what you think. Okay, hi, my name is Jenny, and I have a couple things going on right now. I am the head RTI teacher at our school, and I've been teaching there for 19 years. I am actually a reading specialist, and I have been working to create a program that helps identify the students and help the students learn to read. So I've been looking for some things that actually appeal to struggling readers. So if you're looking for something for even beginning readers, to teach them some of the concepts so that they don't struggle when they're older, these concepts are working for me, so I'm hoping that you using them will work for you too. One that I have found is teaching visualization. So many times I'll ask the kids this question. So do you ever know those kids who sit in your class and they're reading books and they actually get in trouble because they're reading a book and they shouldn't be reading a book? The kids are like, yeah, what's up with that? I'm like, I know. Isn't that strange that you'd actually get in trouble for reading a book? And, my kids think that's just crazy. I would get in trouble for playing with your cars or whatever, but you don't get in trouble for reading a book. So anyway, we talk about that. And I said, why do you think that is? And the kids are like, well, I don't know. I can't figure it out. Like, this kid must be crazy. And so we have the talk, and I said, you know what I think it is? It's because that child's doing such a good job of reading, and they're getting it, that they're actually seeing it in their head. It's like a movie in their head. They're like, what? What are you talking about? I don't understand. Well, I think our kids are so focused on the task of reading that they don't get that there's more to it than just reading the words and decoding. They get stuck in that stage. So this is one way I pull them out of that decoding stage and take them into the actual understanding stage where they actually start to learn that reading is something that is enjoyable. So what a sad thought that reading isn't enjoyable, isn't that? So anyway, I have a book that I want to show you. So I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera back. It is actually a beautiful book, but it's called Night Song by Burke. And I use this book to teach visualization for 2 reasons. One, I tried to think of something the kids could connect to, like a picture or an animal or like a Beanie Baby thing. So I actually found that let's think of an animal that has trouble with vision and then have the kids connect to that, because we think of eagle eye for seeing really well. So I thought, let's think of something that doesn't see real well because we're having trouble visualizing. And I actually found a story where a bat learns to use this sense, just like I'm teaching them to use this sense of visualizing, to find his way on his own. So I found a Beanie Baby bat called Batty, and it's amazing that this little bat can actually teach my kids to focus. So I'll show it to you. So here he is. His name is Batty, and he's really inexpensive. He's a Beanie Baby. The kids love him. He comes in all kinds of sizes, and I'm telling you, having that silly Beanie Baby has made all the difference in the world of getting my kids to pay attention. And I'm not sure why, but I mean, I guess we've all loved stuffed animals all our lives, right? We still like them. You see them now and you think, oh, how cute. Well, actually, I found this book called Night Song. And here's the book. It's kind of dark. The whole thing is black. It takes place at night. So I found this book. It's called Night Song. Doesn't even have the author's name on the front. I think it does on the spine though. But anyway, this is a little bat named Churro. And Churro was about to go out into the wild on his own for the very first time. So I'm going to take you a little bit through just to show you exactly why I picked this book for visualizing. First of all, here's the cover, Night Song. And I'll read just a little bit to you. The sun had set, and the shadows clinging to the walls of the cave began to wake and whisper. Churro, little wing, the bat mother said to her child, tonight you must fly out into the wild, and I will wait here for you. But the night is dark, Mama, darker than the moth's dark eyes, darker even than the water before the dawn, the little bat exclaimed, twitching his ears this way and that. I know, whispered his mother. And when it's dark outside, I cannot always see, Churro admitted, stretching his wings. There are other ways to see, she told him, other ways to help you make your way through the world. This is the part that I get to with the kids, this right here. There are other ways to see, and I use that to point out that there are other ways to see what's going on in the book. It's not always a picture. Sometimes it's the words. So the bat says, how? She says, use your good sense. That's the key thing right here. Use your good sense. I teach the kids that they have all kinds of senses. And we teach kids about visualizing the things they can see, smell, hear, touch. And so this book really ties into it. He says, what is sense? The little bat asked. His mother caught him up in her wings and asked, was it very dark? Oh, I forgot to tell you. This is the end of the book. I didn't want to read the whole thing to you. What this is at the end, the bat goes through all these experiences in the woods, and he actually finds his way back. He comes home, and she grabs him up in her wings and says, was it very dark in the world, little wing? What did you see? Why, Mama, Churro said, laughing, it was very, very dark. And I saw everything. And the cool thing is that the kids get to see that Churro does see everything as he goes, but in his own way. So he's not actually seeing it with his eyes. He's seeing it with his other senses, and that's exactly what visualizing is seeing things with other senses. So it takes us into that sensory approach, and it also takes us back into the book, and we have graphic organizers we use where we go back then after I've read the book to them. I read it to them again. They try to stop me when they get to a point where they hear words that's actually helping them to see something, and then we use those words and go back in and say, what did it help you see? And then they draw a little picture of what it helped them to see. And actually what it does is it teaches kids that if an author does a good job of writing, you can see everything that's happening. And it is kind of a beautiful thing. And I can show you a little later about how I actually set this up with graphic organizers and how I scaffold them into not just, okay, do it. Now we walk into, okay, now we're going to do this step of it, and then we do this step of it. So a lot of it comes through listening first, and then I start letting them branch off on their own and do different things where they're not just listening, that they're going ahead and they're trying to read and do this at the same time. So my hope is that by using picture books and having the actual animal, like the to connect to, that all I have to do is have a picture of that bat and say, okay, today we're going to make visualizations, and they quick jump into, oh yeah, I remember that. When we made visualizations, that's what that story about the bat. It was Churro, and he couldn't find his way, so he used his good sense. Oh yeah, I need to use my senses. So it kind of just, they remember his experience, and then they start doing it with their experiences, and it all starts coming together. So anyway, they love it. I love it. Here's a poster I made for it. I have it hanging on my wall and framed, and it tells them just basically listen to what you hear, create a picture in your mind like a movie, like the kid who got in trouble reading his book because he was actually enjoying it. See the details, you use your senses. So I have all this stuff up in my room at all times. I actually used a little gutter shelf to put it all on so that it's always there, and the kids can always look and remember those things. So thanks for joining me. If you did, I didn't catch any of your names. I was going to shout out to people if I caught their names, but I just saw like handles and I didn't know what your name was. So thanks for joining me, and I will continue to bring you lessons on how to teach kids to comprehend with picture books. So